I want to talk to you guys today about how Jordan Brand uses scarcity tactics and manipulation tactics to keep us coming back and spending our hard earned money. I want to ask you guys a question. How many of you guys were going to skip on the rare Air 4s so that you could go ahead and shoot your shot at the undefeated 4s, only to turn around and take that big L? And then look what's happening now. You see those rare airs? They're starting to get bought up. They're starting to become real scarce in the stores. We're not seeing them. How many of you guys turned around and went ahead and bought those as a quote unquote consolation prize? And now we turn around and we see supposedly on the sneakers app at the end of the month, they're going to drop another 100,000 of the undefeated 4s. And a lot of you, most of us, are going to shoot our shot again. And we're going to end up with both pairs. Well, that's just one little tactic that Jordan Brand uses to keep us coming back and spending our hard-earned money with them. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to come back after I drop this, the dopest intro you ever seen in your life, and we're going to talk about how Jordan Brand keeps us spending our money.
OG Trap Jordan, OG Trap Jordan, the other sneaker YouTubers, the hell are boring. OG Trap Jordan, OG Trap Jordan, I got sneakers rated and pouring.
What up, YouTube? OG Trap Jordan back with another one, and today, just like I said in that intro, we're going to talk about the manipulation tactics that Jordan Brand uses to keep us coming back and keep spending our money. Now, I seen something really interesting the other day that went viral, and it was on Twitter. I know a lot of people probably seen it, and before I go over it and read it to you guys, I do want to put emphasis on the fact that I realize that this is fake and it's not real. But it does drive home a lot of the facts that I've been talking about. It kind of makes me wonder if these guys don't watch my content, but it's probably just the fact that a lot of people are becoming more aware of what's really going on, and they see the tactics that Nike and Jordan Brand is implementing to make us desire these products more and make us spend all our money on these products. So basically, I want to go over and I'm gonna go ahead and put it up on the screen, and I'm gonna read this to you guys. So like I said, this isn't real, but it does drive home my point, and I want to get to my point. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this up right here and read it to you. So it says, "Dear Stash Team," obviously they put this up on Twitter. "Thanks for your proposal to co-host Sneakers Day 2025 in the name of bringing back the hype, making hype drops fair again, and actually caring about sneakerheads. We admire the passion, but we won't be restocking in Europe on 8/8. To be clear, Nike doesn't profit from resale, but resale ensures every product sells out. It lets us maintain the illusion of scarcity, drive up hype, and shape future trends effortlessly. That's why we don't stop backdooring. That's why we don't fix bots. That's why quote unquote loyalty gets you socks and GRs. Your idea of giving power back to the real collectors with a question mark. It undermines the system we've perfected, a system that keeps people chasing, that turns L's into loyalty, that makes them settle and still feel lucky. It's not broken, it's strategy. We respect your community focus, but we're not here to make it fair. We're here to keep it profitable. If people want true access, no bots, and real transparency, they'll have to look elsewhere, maybe in your little community. Sincerely, the Sneakers Team. Just backdoor it." Now, like I said before I read that, obviously that's not real, but that's exactly what I would expect a Nike board meeting probably looks like. It's all about scarcity. It's all about creating the illusion that these are hard to get and making people chase things that they don't even initially necessarily want. A lot of people in my comments will say things like, "Oh yeah, they make lots of pairs that we don't want, but they always limit the pairs that we want." And that's not true. What happens a lot of times is you want the pairs because they're limited. You want the pairs because you can't get your hands on them. And I just want to say that with that being said, that's pretty much the tactics that we've been seeing, and a lot of people are starting to realize that. Look at those 10s. 5-6 years ago, they used to release 10s all the time, and nobody even wanted those because of the toe cap. But when they used to release those all the time as a GR, they would sit in stores for months and go on sale. And there's a lot of silhouettes like that. I seen something else that went viral lately where this kid or some young dude was talking about how if you look at like LeBron's like 7, 8s, and 9s, they're better than the 7, 8s, and 9s of Jordan. And you know what? Of course, that is subjective, and there could be an argument there. But the fact is that there's a lot of kids and a lot of younger people that grew up that don't even believe, and I personally think this is blasphemous, but they don't even believe that Michael Jordan is the GOAT. They believe that LeBron is the GOAT, but yet, for some reason, LeBrons don't sell out and Jordans continue to sell out. And a lot of those kids and young people that think LeBron's the GOAT have way more mics in their collection than they do LeBron's. And you know why? Because of the hype, because of the scarcity that Nike and Jordan brand has built over the years, and the hype that they built over the years, and the tactics that they implement. But I do guarantee you one thing, they're taking notes on what they're doing with some of these underrated or less desirable silhouettes, and they're getting you guys to buy them because you can't get your hands on them. And I bet you in 10 years from now, they'll start doing these same tactics with LeBron's, and they'll be selling out the same way. LeBron's still in the NBA. He's clearly on his last leg, but they will be doing this, and in the future, those shoes, they'll be using those same tactics, and people will be lined up around the block to get them. Now, I want to get back on this with the Jordan brand. Clearly, there's a lot of people that love Jordan for good reason. The shoes are great. I love the shoes. I'm a sneakerhead. I've been a sneakerhead. I watched Mike growing up. And it's really not fair for a lot of us that really want these shoes, but it is what it is. This is the way that the game is designed right now. And like I said, it is all by design. Now, I want to kind of touch on a little bit of what I said earlier, talking about how many people were going to skip on the rare Air 4s so that they could go for those undefeateds. And then you turn around and you've seen live streamers going live the day of the drop for the undefeateds, and you saw W's everywhere. But a lot of us, not me, I did catch my W, and I could go into that later, a whole nother story about that. But that right there could drive you crazy, watching all those live streamers go, and now all of a sudden they got like their Discords up and they're showing all these W's, and you're the one that didn't hit. That's gonna make you want to go out and either you're gonna go out and you're gonna want to pay resale, or you're gonna go out and you're gonna look for a consolation prize. And that's what's happening right now. We're seeing a lot of videos, and you're seeing a lot of people go in the stores, and all of a sudden those rare Air 4s are disappearing. And guess what? In a few weeks from now, they're dropping those undefeated 4s, and the rumor is that there's 100,000 pairs, and some of you guys are going to end up with both pairs, and you only wanted one, and that is by design. Some people initially were saying that those rare Air 4s were bad timing, but clearly Nike and Jordan brand knew what they were doing, and they implemented a tactic that's got us chasing both of them at the same time, and we didn't even want both of them. I'm not saying that those rare Air 4s aren't a dope shoe, and I'm not saying you shouldn't get them, and I'm saying if you do like them, you should buy them. I skipped on them personally, but that's just another tactic that they're using. And another tactic that they seem to be using is clearly, obviously, social media and the quote-unquote influencers and the live streamers, and even just the YouTubers that get these pairs early, and they go ahead and they sell them early for a jacked up price, and you see what happens when they come out. They're sitting in the store, and you know what? It's just like what they say on here. It doesn't really necessarily mean that they necessarily profit from backdooring, but they do. Because when a shoe appears to be rare or appears to sell out, they're going to make their money on that, because you're going to want to go back and you're going to want to buy them. And even when you didn't want to buy them, now you want them because you can't get them, or because the price is so jacked up. Next time they do a restock, what happens? Everybody goes after them. We just saw today the Navy SB4s came out, and everybody went off after them. I know a lot of people took L's, but there's some people that ended up doubling up, and then they're just going to turn around and they're going to resell their other pair. But you know what? Nike still profits off of that. You know why? because that's another pair that got sold. If they would just put all these pairs out at once and they sat, they would just be sitting there collecting dust, and Nike wouldn't make money, and the shoes would become less and less desirable and less popular. And that's a tactic that they're using that a lot of people don't realize. I've been getting a lot of hate lately because I'm telling the truth on my channel. I got other YouTubers coming after me. Some of them are resellers, some of them aren't, and they feel like I'm out here just like taking shots at YouTubers, and they're taking it personal, and it's not personal because I don't care about that. I don't care about making money off of my channel. Yes, I'm monetized. I don't make a lot of money on my channel, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. I understand why some of these YouTubers do what they do. I get it, because YouTube, if you don't know, if you're somebody that's out there that's not monetized, or you're trying to get your channel popping, it takes a lot of hard work. And when you finally do get it monetized, you're gonna realize that YouTube money is not all that great. You could get thousands of views and still barely make any money. So I understand what's going on. A lot of people profit off of YouTube by starting a business. So I get it. I understand why these guys are selling merchandise, which I don't have a problem with that. I'm going to come up with my own merchandise soon, but I understand why they're backdooring these pairs and why they're pre-selling pairs, because that's how they make their money. And some of these guys, you know what, I'm going to keep it a buck. I do watch these guys, and I do like some of these guys. And one of the guys that I did kind of take shots at one point, I do watch him, and I am a fan of his content, and I'll say his name, Unbreakable Kicks. I only did that because a fan asked me to go ahead and do my imitation of him because I was imitating others. But I actually look at that dude, and I see a real sneakerhead. I see a real sneakerhead who started a channel and became successful, and he started going ahead and he started hustling and he started making money. But the problem with it, in my opinion, is that at whose expense? Get your money. I don't knock the hustle. I don't even really have a problem with you, with Unbreakable Kicks in particular. I was just having fun on that one. But there are some other guys in this, I guess, in this space on YouTube that I don't think are real sneakerheads. I think they got into this just solely to make money, just to manipulate and just to take advantage of sneakerheads and basically treat you guys like junkies. And that's how they feel. They don't feel that you guys are their subscribers or their fans. They look at you like subscribers. And I'm not going to go in and keep going in on these guys, but that's just another tactic that Jordan Brand uses themselves. I'm sure they give these guys lots of pairs. You see a lot of the live streamers, all of a sudden they got people from the companies that are putting these shoes out, coming in there and joining the chat, and all of a sudden they're hitting on the shoes. And you know what? Good for them. I'm not even mad at them. I'm just letting you guys know the manipulation tactics that are using, that it's all by design, and it's designed to keep you coming back and continuing to spend your money. And when these shoes supposedly sell out, you turn around and you buy a different pair of shoes, or you turn around and you buy them on the resale market. And that's all by design, and it's all a tactic. It's not an accident. It's not a coincidence. It's something that has clearly been implicated by Jordan Brand and Nike and their conference board meetings and stuff like that. And you could tell, because a lot of these shoes that they're limiting lately, they used to be sitters, and they're not anymore because they limit them, and then they turn around and they sell out quick. People are lined up around the block, and then people are selling them for resale for ridiculous prices, and people are going after them just because they want them, because they couldn't get them. And it's a tactic that's as old as any designer brand. They've been doing that for years. It's the same thing with gold. It's the same thing with watches. Go into a jewelry store and ask them for a piece of jewelry, and they'll tell you that this is the only one they have and they can't sell it right now, but they can get it to you later. And those are tactics that have been used by all the major designer brands and everything. It's an old tactic. If you have a product and it's selling really well, and you continue to just streamline these products and continue to put out product after product, they become played out and nobody wants them because they're sitting on shelves and it's everywhere, and nobody wants what everybody has. And those are the tactics that Jordan Brand plays and that Nike plays to get you to continue to keep coming back and spending your money like a junkie in an alley that can't quit smoking. And it is what it is. And if you don't like me for making this kind of product, then hey, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you don't like real shit. They say that suckers hate real motherfuckers as much as real motherfuckers hate sucker shit. So, you know what? Shout out to Superfly Kicks, because I'm pretty sure that I saw that on his page somewhere. So, shout out to you for that one, but that's real shit. But I've ranted on long enough, so you know what it is. If you like my content, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and please hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time I drop one of these bangers, and you can get some more of this good stuff in your life. And remember, no shoe is an absolute must cop. Support the culture and not the resellers. I'm OG Trap Jordan, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.